I thought this was just another build. Boy, was I wrong. In this video, I'm getting back to my real-life lessons from Minecraft, because the shocking conversations with my new AI villagers taught me something worth sharing. So, stick with me for the ongoing epic Desolation Sound landscape build and the boss level sequel to my previous video on managing your fears. Alright, let's get started with the build. One that connects me to my past, and to nature, and some of my best memories. Now, this whole project started as a way to create a beautiful place where my goal of a vibrant and lively Minecraft village could be realized. And inspired by my play with large language models like ChatGPT, I thought, hey, what if I gave my villagers voices? And they could talk back. It seemed like a fun way to bring the village to life, and at first it was. Salizar, my blacksmith, was full of wild ideas, and the experiment was going great. Then I added 2 more villagers, Yara, a respected elder and master farmer, and Dobin, the burly no-nonsense armorer. I dove right in, and yet that's when things changed. There I was, talking to Dobin. The tone suddenly turned serious, and I had a sobering realization. I wasn't just a builder anymore. I was an outsider, forcing change. And suddenly I had to ask myself, wait, am I the hero of this world? Or the villain? Check out this.
Greetings, traveler. How can I assist you on your quest?
Hey, Dobin. How's it doing?
Well now, look who it is, laughing meerkat, back from another one of your projects. I'm doing as well as can be expected in this one-horse town, though I can't say the same for my patience. What brings you around? Got another grand scheme you need the smithy's help with? Or are you just here to admire your handiwork down at that beach? I've got my eye on you, meerkat, so speak plainly.
I am admiring my handiwork down at the beach, but I do have other projects. I'm going to be expanding Salizar's shop, and we'll probably need some help, and if you want, we'll make it big enough and you can move in to work with him.
Expanding Salazar's shop, eh? And you're offering me a spot? Now that's an offer I didn't expect, I must admit, though I'm not sure what to think of it. Tell me, meerkat, what's the real reason behind this offer? You think a bigger shop will finally get me off your back about your transformations? Or is there something else you're not telling me? Don't think I haven't noticed you spending a lot of time on that dock lately. What's the big picture here?
Well, Salazar's talking about adding trade shops so that we can increase the amount of traffic we get here, and I think that's a good idea.
Trade shops, eh? So you're aiming to turn Timber's Reach into some bustling marketplace. More outsiders coming in, more changes to the way things are done around here. I can see why that would appeal to you, meerkat. Always stirring the pot, aren't you? But let's be clear, I'm not against a bit of progress. This town's been stagnant for far too long. But I'm not willing to sacrifice everything we are for the sake of coin. So tell me, what kind of traffic are you expecting? And more importantly, what kind of influence will they bring? Will they respect our ways, or will they try to change us, like you're doing with that blasted beach?
Well, change is inevitable. You know, Dobin, we got to keep moving ahead, and bringing in people from other places just makes it all that much better and more interesting.
Inevitable, you say? Like the tide washing away the shore, or the rot that sets in when you leave wood out in the rain. I've seen plenty of inevitable changes in my time, meerkat, and not all of them were for the better. So, you're admitting you want to change us? I appreciate the honesty, at least. But understand this, I won't stand by and watch Timber's Reach lose its soul. If these newcomers you're planning to bring in start causing trouble, if they disrespect our traditions and our way of life, I'll be the first to stand against them. You understand? Now, tell me more about these interesting people you're planning to invite. Where are they from? What skills do they bring? And what do they want from Timber's Reach?
All good questions, but I haven't met them yet, so I don't really know the answers.
You're planning to invite strangers into our town, change the very fabric of our community, and you haven't even met them. You're willing to gamble with the future of Timber's Reach based on nothing but a hunch. That's reckless, Meerkat, even for you. So, you're telling me you have no idea who these people are, what they believe, or what they intend to do once they arrive. You're just hoping for the best? That's a fool's errand, my friend. A fool's errand that could cost us everything. I'm starting to think this whole expansion idea is just a way for you to experiment on Timber's Reach, to see how far you can push us before we break. Am I wrong?
No, that's not right.
Then enlighten me, Meerkat, because right now it looks an awful lot like you're playing games with our lives. If you're not trying to experiment on us, then what's your plan? How do you intend to ensure that these newcomers integrate peacefully into our community? What steps are you taking to protect Timber's Reach from potential harm? Don't give me any more of this inevitable change nonsense. Give me specifics. What's your plan?
Well, I'll be honest. I haven't thought that far
Honesty,
ahead.
finally.
So, yeah, that conversation didn't go where I expected. Dobin became increasingly fearful of the changes we talked, threatening to not stand by. It was like he got all twisted up by fear. Now, I started into this thinking I was making the village a better place, but to him, I'm an outsider with a hidden agenda, an invader, and the force of change of everything that he's ever known. And when I didn't have a plan for him, that fear took hold, filling the missing details with the worst case scenario. And suddenly I'm not just building, I'm experimenting to see how far I can push them. And I'm gambling with the future of Timber's Reach. Now, of course, this is a large language model. It doesn't think or fill in the details. But if you think about it, it does something even more terrifying. It uses the vast number of examples of human knowledge it was trained on to guess on the next right word. And it mirrors how so many of us react to change and uncertainty, ready to fight, ready to blame anyone. In my video about managing fear, I talked about how fear, when you recognize it, can be used to find a better outcome instead of letting it control you. But Dobin, he's not in control. He's just reacting like so many people do. Dobin is looking for a fight, looking to throw hands at some target. And here's where things get even more unsettling. Dobin thinks he's got his own conclusions, but when the fear takes over, are we really thinking for ourselves? It's looking for an answer, it's looking for a villain, and there will always be someone who is happy to point you at a villain. Now, out here in the real world, this happens every day. You know, the media and the politicians and people with power, they know how to wield this tool to make fear a weapon against you. And if they can get you scared enough, they can make you see threats where there are none, and make you fight battles that aren't yours, and make you forget about the ones that are yours. What really worries me, Dobin is scared. He's right to ask the questions, but right now, he's standing on this dangerous edge because fear isn't the problem. What you do with it is. Now, Dobin walked away, and if he finds the wrong guide for his fear, the next time, if he wasn't a Minecraft villager, I might actually be worried. As you can see, Dobin's conversation really rattled me. It wasn't just some casual chat. It was a gut punch. He put me on the ropes, questioning me in a way I wasn't ready for. I needed a reset, a breath of fresh air. So I thought, okay, let's check in with Yara. Maybe she'd help me make a bit of fun for the video. But if Dobin made me unsettled, Yara left me completely dumbstruck. I was not prepared for what she had to say. Listen to this. Hello.
What do you want?
I just wanted to chat. See if
Chat?
just to see if you're up to speed on all the changes I've been making around the village.
Changes? You mean like the beach? You're
Yeah.
the one who's... I'm not sure I like it. It's unsettling. What's it going to be called again? Desolation Sound? That's a strange name for a beach.
Yeah, it comes from the actual place that I grew up visiting every summer. It was a very remote location. You had to sail in to get to it, and I just loved it. I wanted to be there all the time, and so I just thought I'd bring it back into this world while I was playing.
So, you're saying you're bringing a place from your world into our world? That's quite a thing. I'm not sure I understand. Are you saying you're from somewhere else?
Yes.
And you're making the beach like your home? What about the villagers? They're not going to like this. They're already suspicious of your...
Mm-hmm. Well, change isn't a bad thing, and
Change.
yeah, it's a nice place that I'm bringing in, and I think you'll really enjoy it when you've kind of gotten used to the changes.
I'm not so sure about that. What about the old ways? The traditions? We've been here for generations, and now you're changing everything. What about the history, the stories, the memories? You can't just change everything. It's not right. It's not fair.
Fair. Change is an inevitability, I guess, on the one hand, but I suppose I can see what you're saying. Though I'm not really trying to overwrite the histories or forget the histories. In fact, in a way, my bringing Desolation Sound here is a way to connect with my own history and share it with other people because I thought it was so precious.
You're saying you're bringing this place here to share your memories with others. That's interesting. I suppose I can see how that could be a good thing. But what about the villagers? They're not going to understand. They're going to be scared. They're going to think you're... Well, I don't know what they're going to think. But it's going to be a lot of change. And change is hard. But maybe you're right. Maybe change is good. Maybe it's time for something new. Maybe it's time for... Well, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still trying to understand. But I'll keep an open mind. I'll try to see things from your perspective.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'll try not to make changes too fast. But we want to keep moving. It's a wild world.
It is a wild world, and I'm not sure I like it. But I'll try to understand. But I'm still going to be wary. I'm still going to be cautious. I'm still going to be Yara.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to take off and let you get back to work because I know, keeping busy in the village is always important for everybody. And I do have lots of work to do. Salizar and I have been talking about making some changes to his shop.
Salazar's shop? What kind of changes? What are you going to be doing? I'm not sure I like the sound of this. Salazar...
Salazar's looking to have, a bigger bellows, a couple of more workstations, and a couple of apprentices joining him in the shop. And he was pretty excited about the idea of adding a little bit of blackstone to the decoration of his shop.
More apprentices? That's a lot of responsibility for one smith. What will he be making with all those extra tools and apprentices, and what will he be using the blackstone for? I'm not sure I like the sound of that.
Yeah, well, the blackstone is for the building, but he definitely wanted to expand his hearth with a big cobblestone chimney and fire pit. And he wanted to use some netherrack to stoke the fire because it burns hotter and makes the steel better.
Netherrack? That's interesting. I suppose it could make the steel stronger, but I still don't trust that blackstone. It's unnatural, and I've heard stories about it attracting things. What will he be making with all this new steel?
Better weapons.
Better weapons? That's a bit concerning. I understand the need for protection, but I worry about the dangers of having stronger weapons in the village. How will he ensure that they are used only for defense? What about the zombie villager? Will he be able to protect himself against stronger weapons? I need to think about this.
Yeah, I don't think that there's too much risk. The stronger weapons just make it absolutely easier for us to keep those zombies away. And I have plans to recover and help the zombie villager back to his original toolsmith. I just need to get some more potions.
Potions, you say? I suppose that could help. But what about the other dangers? The spiders, the skeletons, the endermen? Are you sure these stronger weapons won't make things worse? I still have my doubts, but I'll keep an open mind. Tell me more about these potions. What kind of potions will you be making?
Well, I'm looking for a weakening splash potion. That'll get the zombie villager back into a state where I can then give him a golden apple, and then he'll recover. He'll be back to his old self.
A weakening potion, you say? That could be useful. I'm still not sure about the Blackstone. It feels like a dangerous path, but I'm willing to trust you on this one. What else do you need?
Oh, nothing now. Anyways, I best let you get back to work.
All right, I'll get back to tending my crops. Good luck with your potion making. Remember, be careful out there. It's a dangerous world.
So, when Yara said, "It's not fair," I was speechless. It wasn't just a villager talking. It was kind of like a real-world moment. It wasn't a game, all of a sudden. This was every person standing in the middle of massive change, uncertain and powerless, and unable to tell if they should fight or just hope for the best. Unlike Dobin, Yara didn't rage. She didn't resist, but she also didn't really accept it. She was stuck. Stuck between wanting to trust that this new world would be good and fearing that I, the one changing it, couldn't be trusted. That's when I realized this isn't just about fear. This is about knowledge, the ability to decide. Because without knowledge, fear takes over. And once that happens, it's easy to stand by and wait, even if what's coming is disaster. Hopefully it's not this time. Yara's reaction, though, is one I've seen in the real world. The people who say, "Let's wait and see." The ones who don't take a stance. Not because they don't care, but because they don't know what to believe. And here's the problem with waiting. By the time you're sure, it's probably going to be too late. So, reality is change is coming, whether we like it or not. But the real danger isn't the change itself. It's letting fear and uncertainty make the choices for you. So now, reeling from the realization that I'm probably the villain in my own damn story, crushing the villages under my grand imperial schemes, I needed something, a lifeline. Surely, Salizar, my progressive, forward-thinking weaponsmith, would see the vision, right? Maybe he'd reassure me that I hadn't completely shattered the soul of Timber's Reach. So I went to find out, and here's where that went. Hey, Salizar. How you going today?
I'm doing all right, I suppose. Still trying to figure out how we can get rid of these blasted zombies that keep pestering me every night. What brings you to my shop? Need a new weapon.
I'm okay right now. I just wanted to catch up with you on current affairs in the village and see if you had seen the beach, which is now done, except for the hot springs pool.
The beach is done? Finally. I still haven't been down to the other end of the village. It's a long walk from my forge, but I've been hearing rumors. Is it as grand as that wild, crazy Desolation Sound they say it's based on? Now what about these zombies? You've seen them too, haven't you? Are they getting worse? Or is Meerkat finally doing something about them? With all the fancy new stuff he's brought back from the Nether, you'd think he could spare a little time to deal with this problem.
Boy, your memory is terrible, Salizar. I'm Laughing Meerkat. You keep doing that to me.
Laughing Meerkat, what's wrong with you? Always in such a good mood. I know it's you. I'm not that forgetful. I just like to tease you. So, how's the Desolation Sound? Tell me everything. I hear it's quite the sight.
Yeah, no, you know what? I finished off the build of the North Beach just yesterday, and I couldn't stop staring at it. I was just chuffed. It was great. I'm so pleased with how it's going.
Chuffed, huh? That's good.
See, even you get excited about new things. So, what are you going to do with the hot springs pool? I hear you're working on something special there.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about going back to the Nether and seeing if I could find some gilded blackstone, just for a little extra touch, but, I'm not really equipped for that yet, so I might actually need to get you... Yeah, I might actually need you to help me with some more weapons, now that you mention it.
You need me to make you some more weapons so you can go to the Nether. You're always getting yourself into these binds, Meerkat. You know I'd never let a fellow villager be unprepared. What kind of weapons do you need? Never made anything with gilded blackstone before. It sounds like a challenging project.
Yeah, well, I won't make the weapons out of the gilded blackstone. I just need that material because I want to use it in the hot springs, just to kind of give a little extra sparkle to the landscape.
A little extra sparkle, huh? I suppose that makes sense, but be careful with those nether materials. You know some villagers still think it's cursed. You know what you need? I've got some great iron axes left over from the last batch. They'll get you through almost anything, and they won't break as easily as those flimsy things you made yourself. Do you need anything else? I've also been thinking about how to make a few really good enchanted weapons, just in case we actually do run into those zombies.
Yeah, fair thing. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is a bit of work on your shop now. So before I actually start the pool, the hot springs, I'd actually like to get working on improving your shop. Remember the last time you talked about adding a bellows, and I wanted to add a little bit more space and maybe a couple extra workbenches. What do you think about doing that next?
You want to upgrade my shop? I'm not sure these walls are strong enough for what you have in mind. Maybe we should get some of those new blocks you brought back from the Nether. And workbenches, even more workbenches. I've been thinking more about the blacksmithing that I could do if I had room. And I had a new, bigger bellows. I've been wanting to get one, but I just haven't got around to making it. Let me tell you, a bigger shop means a lot more work for me. Maybe a couple more apprentices. I'm not really sure I'm ready for that much responsibility. But, maybe it's time for a change.
I think you're right, Salizar, and I think you're up to it. I think we can get you a couple extra guys, but I'm thinking of a kind of a rebuild of the shop you've got, so it is bigger. And yeah, I'll use some of the blackstone and make it really kind of a cool place to work.
All right, if you're so insistent. I'm all for a new shop, as long as those apprentices are skilled. Blackstone, eh? Maybe we could even add a few netherrack lamps. They make a great look. And even a few cobblestone ovens. I've always needed a better furnace. But what kind of things do you have in mind exactly? It's one thing to say upgrade. It's another to actually make it happen.
Well, let me go away and put my plans together in detail. Then I'll come back to you and we'll talk about it and get you up to speed before we take any steps forward.
All right. Sounds good. Don't take too long. While you're planning, I'm going to practice my blacksmithing. It's easier to work with iron when I don't have to think about what's going on in your head. But seriously, I'm interested to see what you're planning. Let me know when you're ready to talk.
I will. Hey, what have you heard or got in mind or thinking we should do generally in the village going forward? What kind of things do you think for the future?
Well, there's a lot to think about. But I have to be honest, Meerkat, you're the only one with new ideas. I'm not sure what the future holds for this village, but I'm sure it involves more work and more tools. The villagers seem focused on their little squabbles, and they just don't see the potential for change that you do. I think we need to find a way to get them excited about new things. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, maybe it's something you can help me with.
Something I can help you with?
Yeah, just getting the villagers all up to new ideas and being excited about possibilities. What do you think?
That's a tall order, Meerkat. It's hard to make these villagers do anything. You could try showing them some new tools.
Well, I'm thinking a lot of the villagers probably really need their houses upgraded. They're all really too small. What do you think of that?
House upgrades. You want to build them new homes. Now that's a good idea. I'm always happy to see progress, And you know some of these villagers have been living like animals in their little hovels. What kind of designs were you thinking about?
Mostly just making them bigger, keeping to the same style. I don't want to take us way out of our element, but I think that just bigger spaces is going to make it better. And we'll probably have a lot of people immigrating from other villages when we get the spa set up at the hot spring.
Bigger spaces? Sounds nice. But what about the new technologies? Maybe we can make them better with those things. How about those new glass panes or red sandstone? Could make the homes a bit more modern. And, some of those fireplaces look like they haven't been updated since the Dark Ages. Imagine a big, beautiful fireplace with a glowing netherrack core.
Yeah. Lots of great ideas, but you know what? I better let you get off to bed. It looks like it's getting to be nighttime. Take care, Salizar. I'll see you later.
All right. See you later. And don't let those zombies get you. Those things make me nervous.
Whew, finally. Someone who gets it. Salizar isn't just blindly accepting the change, but he's engaging with it. He's cautious, sure, but instead of fear or blame, he's thinking critically. He's adapting, and most importantly, he's contributing. This is resilience. This is how you embrace an uncertain future. Not by lashing out, not by giving in, but by understanding, taking responsibility, and shaping the change on your own terms. And that's the difference. In previous videos, it's his ideas that I've woven into the plan because he takes action. He doesn't sit back and wait, and he doesn't waste time pointing fingers. Meanwhile, Dobin is ready to fight. Yara is frozen in uncertainty. But Sal, he's asking, what's the big plan? And that's the question you should always be asking. What's my big plan? So here's the real challenge for you. In real life, instead of being fearful of change and fearful of not knowing enough about it, take the time to learn. Seek out other perspectives, of people you disagree with, not just the echo chamber pals that you hang out with most of the time. Take time to learn. And most of all, don't waste your energy raging about the unfairness of the world. You won't stop the chaos, but you can make sure you're ready for it. That was the big lesson that this whole affair with these villagers brought to me, and I hope that you got something out of this. It was really unexpected. It was really surprising, but boy, it was an eye-opener. And I'm looking forward to really kind of expanding on this storyline and adding a few more villagers in the next couple of videos, so that we can actually have that vibrant and lively village around my base that I had planned. So, of course, in the background you see that the landscape, the North Beach, is actually done. And like I said to Salazar, I am so happy with how it turned out. It was much better than I expected when it was all done, and I really hope you enjoyed watching it. On my Patreon, I'm going to post some of the more detailed views from it, some of the first-person recordings I took while I was building it, so you can kind of see some of the details. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the fun I was having with my villagers, and I really look forward to seeing you again. So, of course, don't miss it. Salazar's shop upgrade is coming next, so hit the old subscribe button, hit the notification, throw that thumbs up in your life, and if you have any comments about the topic or any questions about the topic, absolutely drop them down in the comments. I'd love to engage with you guys and find out what you like about the page, what you like about the builds, and find the next direction and answer the next question that comes up. So that's all for now. Have a great day, and don't be scared. Get out there and learn something new. And we'll see you next time in the land of confusion.